SquarePants has been around for so long that it's a true classic at this point. The little sponge that lives in a pineapple under the sea has entertained kids and adults for over 2 decades, and it seems like he and his friends from Bikini Bottom will continue to do so for a long time to come. But with animators churning out episodes almost on a weekly basis and a third movie in the works as well, mistakes are bound to happen, and in today's video we are looking at 10 of the most hilarious ones. It is a running gag throughout the series that Plankton repeatedly tried to steal the secret Krabby Patty formula, and in the episode Goo Goo Gas from season 5, he creates a gas that will turn adults into babies to help his plan. After turning Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob into
Funny. Goo Goo Gas.
babies and back several times, Plankton runs out of gas and Mr. Krabs flings him out of the Krusty Krab before walking out of his restaurant to check the mailbox. There's just one problem with this scene. The mailbox wasn't there in any of the previous shots and also disappears again in the shot after Mr. Krabs checks it and finds Plankton hiding inside. While we can maybe overlook the fact that the mailbox can't be found in any other episode either, having it appear and disappear at random between shots of the same episode is definitely a pretty embarrassing editing mistake. One of the most frequent editing mistakes in the SpongeBob series is that things which are dropped in one shot just vanish into thin air in the next one. And there's one of those in the episode Kenny the Cat as well. As SpongeBob takes a burger to his idol, he catches him taking a breath from an oxygen tank and being so shocked that his hero is a fraud after all, SpongeBob drops the plate with the burger. However, the next time we see him, plate and burger are nowhere around and have miraculously vanished, as so many objects have before and will surely do again in the future. In the episode License to Milkshake from season 9, SpongeBob has to return to the Milkshake Academy after realizing that his milkshake license has expired. The academy is run by Captain Frosty Mug, who has been making
My passport has been expired. Right, Mom? Mommy, is my passport expired?
Almost. In August.
Almost. So in April, I'll go in Dubai with Bobo. Really? Really, Mom? Yes, so I can make videos in there. Wait, let's go.
milkshakes for 2 decades. In one scene, the cadets are waiting for their teacher to arrive, and as Captain Frosty Mug finally arrives, he descends from above and uses 2 cans of whipped cream to slow down and soften his landing. As a result, SpongeBob and the other cadets as well as the ground are covered in whipped cream. However, in the following shot, everything is clean again and no whipped cream can be seen anywhere around. So unless one of the cadets is a super eager and fast cleaner, we can blame this continuity fail on the editors as well. In the season 10 episode Squirrel Record, Sandy is determined to break a record number of world records in record time, and SpongeBob decides to join her for an action-packed weekend of dangerous record setting, including the records for the world's longest tongue, longest tooth, spiciest chili gargle, and most chainsaws juggled. In the beginning of the episode, SpongeBob takes out the trash of the Krusty Krab and finds the Guinness O'Ripley enormous book of curiosities, oddities, and world records in the dumpster, along with his friend Sandy, who is breaking the world record for rooting around in a trash can. Since the dumpster is really disgusting, SpongeBob is wearing a gas mask as he approaches it, but takes it off and throws it on the ground when the mysterious book appears from the garbage. However, in the next shot, the gas mask is nowhere to be seen, and like so many other objects throughout the entire series, it appears to have dissolved into thin air in between shots. In the episode Tutor Sauce of season 9, Mr. Krab tries to teach SpongeBob how to drive after he failed his driving test again. For the second attempt, they go to a huge empty parking lot to practice on, but SpongeBob accidentally goes in reverse again and causes the boat to crash into the doors of the Krusty Krab. As we see SpongeBob and Mr. Krab sitting in the parked vehicle, it doesn't appear to have side mirrors. However, in the next shot where the two have crashed into the Krusty Krab, they have miraculously appeared, at least on the side facing the camera. Next Next up is a mistake from the Season 8 episode of Friendly Game. In this episode, SpongeBob and Patrick want to play a game of gold when a storm forces them to change their plans. After trying to tell the rain to stop, Patrick gets struck by lightning and the two decide that it would be a better idea to build a mini golf course in SpongeBob's home. Well, the
That's dangerous. Struck by lightning.
storm continues blowing outside. Patrick tries his best to throw SpongeBob off his game by distracting him constantly. His friend eventually hits the ball so hard that it ricochets through the entire house, breaking things in the process and eventually smashing a window. In the shot that shows the ball flying out of the window, we can obviously see the glass breaking and shards flying out of the window along with the wall. However, in the following shot, when SpongeBob wants to take a closer look at the damage, we can see a lot of shards under the window inside the house. While the storm is pretty strong outside, it seems very unlikely that the wind blew the glass shards back into the house again. So this is yet another fail that slipped by the editors unnoticed. As mentioned earlier, Plankton tries to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula on more than one occasion, and in one episode he appears to be successful for the shortest period of time. He manages to steal a burger from the Krusty Krab, but as he is running away with it, he is caught in a net a few moments later. However, that is not the biggest issue in the scene. As fans will know, the Krabby Patties are so delicious thanks
Did you eat banana? I mean, did you eat banana?
Not yet. OMG. RL Krabby Patty. I said, OMG, real life Krabby Patty.
to a mixture of lettuce, tomatoes, tartar sauce, mayo, flour, turmeric, sea salt, land salt, barnacle shavings, the patty, mustard, ketchup, 2 buns, onions, the secret formula, and cheese. If you pay close attention in the scene, however, you will notice that when Plankton is running towards the camera carrying the Krabby Patty above his head, there is no slice of cheese on the burger. Well, it has magically appeared in the next shot where Plankton is caught
Mom,
in a
there's
net.
an ad.
Since SpongeBob SquarePants isn't a
Mom,
show about magicians,
banana.
however, this is clearly
Alright.
an editing mistake. In the episode Feral Friends from Season 10, a weird moon turns everyone into wild animals, and Sandy is the only one who can save them. After an earthquake, a big shiny green rock rises from a volcano and floats around the sky suddenly, and everyone notices it as the moon. Sandy immediately realizes that there is something weird about the moon that comes out by day, and notices that all the sea creatures, including her friends, are hypnotized by the moon and soon turn into real-looking and biologically accurate animals. As Neptune's moon passes, the animals turn back into the cartoon versions we know them as, and Neptune's sun comes up following another earthquake, now turning Sandy into a real-looking version of herself. However, in the scene where Sandy turns into a realistic squirrel, you can spot a pretty obvious editing mistake if you pay a little attention. Instead of her suit falling down, the real-looking version of Sandy is anxiously crawling around in the bubble that she normally has around her head, and the suit is not just standing straight up, but also still has a tail, meaning that Sandy has 2 tails in this scene, with one of them being detached from her.
Oh my god.
Fortunately, Neptune's sun also passed and Sandy became her normal self again. In the beginning of the Season 11 episode episode The String, SpongeBob sees a loose end of a string on Squidward's shirt and can't resist pulling it. However, once he has done so, the string just goes on and never seems to end throughout the entire episode. Or at least that is the idea and the whole joke of the episode. The only problem is that the string actually ends in one shot, which basically kills the whole joke. After unraveling Squidward's shirt and cutting the boat in half, the string leads SpongeBob to a couple of guests eating at one of the tables, and after unraveling their clothes and choking one of them, you can clearly see that the string ends. However, in the next shot, SpongeBob appears to still be pulling the same string, which then goes on till the end of the episode. SpongeBob is a sea sponge, and as such, shouldn't have bones or organs, and in many episodes he proves that he doesn't by twisting his body and showing how flexible its shape is thanks to the lack of a skeleton. Take the episode Squirrel Jokes, for instance, where SpongeBob talks about the fact that he doesn't have any bones before twisting his body to illustrate that he is an invertebrate. However, for some reason there are also plenty of episodes where SpongeBob not only has inner organs, but actually breaks some bones, such as the Season 3 episode I Had an Accident. In this episode, SpongeBob pretty much shatters his backside after falling from a great height as his x-rays reveal. But perhaps we can overlook this inconsistency in the series since it makes for some pretty hilarious episodes.
Alright, I'm done. Bye guys!